I'd ask that everybody could just try to keep their masks on here today and stay in your seats. We're going to get started shortly. I have to get my cues from Mrs. Wozniak. She took care of this whole thing, so she did a great job. All the graduates stand, please. One last lap around the track before you graduate. Perfect. Take your seats. Thank you. Good morning. As I hope you all know, my name is Steve Cullinane. I'm the interim principal at Nashoba Regional High School. I'd like to welcome the graduating class of 2020 together with their friends and families, Superintendent Clenchy, Dr. McGuire, members of the school committee, faculty, and staff. To start our program, I ask that you please stand as Class Marshal Sam Crotu leads us in the Pledge of Allegiance, followed by the singing of the national anthem sung by Senior Isabella Sonia.
I pledge allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, liberty and justice for all.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you, Sam and Ibby. You guys can take your seats. Thank you. At ease. Some of you sitting in the audience are aware that I served in the military. I bring this up because I'm proud of my service, but also because that background provided me with a foundation for the 1920 school year. You never forget the lessons of your years in the military. You see, in the military, when an initiative is launched, everyone knows that even with the most meticulous vision, something always will throw even a great plan off. When I taught military history here, I illustrated how certain campaigns, which had been planned with the utmost precision by the most brilliant minds, were derailed by tiny, unforeseen details, like sand causing the helicopter to crash while on the Iranian hostage rescue, of the Romans not believing Hannibal could cross the Alps with his war elephants. No plan survives first contact. We need to react, recover, and reevaluate, which is oh so similar to what has happened this year. 1 year ago, if someone had predicted how the upcoming school year would unfold, I would have never believed them. I stepped into my role as assistant principal, never thinking I would be standing here in front of you as your principal. I had brown hair in November. Leading graduation in July on the school football field due to an abbreviated school year caused by a global pandemic. I would never have believed all of the abrupt, life-altering changes that occurred over the past 11 months if I hadn't witnessed them at the same time that you did. Nashoba's parents, administrators, custodians, teachers, and coaches would all agree that there was simply no way we could have anticipated just how your senior year would turn out. And my senior year, too, I'm old. All of the planning for sports, plays, college visits, mission trips, National Honor Society, student council, travel, didn't work out. Well, the reality that great plans do not always work out is something the military understands and plans for. You now know that messed up plans are not just the experience in the military, they are a constant part of life. When an outcome that we had anticipated and hoped for did not materialize as we would have wanted, we could not just throw up our hands in disgust. That was unacceptable and just poor form. Rather, we were expected to meet setbacks, big and small, with reflection. We were expected to reflect upon how things had turned out, just as you would have done if you had forgotten a line during a performance, or missed a play on the athletic field, or poor grade on a long-term assignment, or how you would have time to stop at Dunkin' Donuts, even though you overslept and still I let you in the morning. We had to evaluate whether the redirection could have been anticipated, why it was not, and how to adjust for the next time. Here on this warm July morning, we gathered to celebrate your graduation. Despite the fact that it is not what we had expected it is not what you had expected after a year that ended pretty abruptly, I urge you to do some reflecting. In the process of doing so, I believe that you will draw some conclusions about community. For example, the Nashoba community wanted to celebrate the class of 2020 so that as you move forward, you will still feel valued. Reflecting upon the different ways in which the class of 2020 has been honored with parades, signs, emails, videos, etc., showing just how much people across the district and in your neighborhoods care. Reflect also upon how we really do not know what each day may bring, so we should appreciate routines, people, and dreams in the moment. Maybe what you learned during the spring of 2020 is greater than all the combined classes, projects, papers, labs that led up to March 12th when COVID ended your high school experience inside and outside of the classroom. Maybe the importance of this teachable moment is simply this: to appreciate what we do have when we are fortunate to have it, which may be the greatest lesson of all. Take this lesson out into the wider world that you're about to enter. In closing, please let me say as the principal of the graduating class, best of luck in all of your future endeavors. Take care of yourselves and appreciate the people surrounding you here and at home today. Secondly, do not overlook the importance of a thorough, solid plan. Avoid leaving things to the last minute. Be attentive. Know that plans are never perfect. Third, brace yourself for the real possibility that even your best laid plans will not turn out as expected. This is how real life looks. Finally, real life requires reflection upon what we gain and what we lose when things do not go our way. That is the moment when you don't just stop, we don't give up and quit. No, this is the place where we start. We begin again and we adjust. I'm proud to have worked with all of you, and I ask that you let us know what you're up to going forward. We'll miss you. I'm confident it will be impressive things. Thank you. At this time, I would like to invite Superintendent Brooke Clenchey to the podium to deliver her message to the seniors.
Good morning, esteemed guests, family members, and graduates. This morning, I bring heartfelt congratulations to our Nashoba Regional High School graduating class from the NRSD School Committee, leadership, faculty, and all NRSD staff. This is a unique graduation ceremony during unique times for a special graduating class. We recognize and acknowledge the many gifts that this class will continue to pay forward as they move on to the next part of their life journey beyond our Nashoba doors. This is a class of entrepreneurs, musicians, poets, journalists, mathematicians, scientists, athletes, artists, and simply so much more. We, as your community, are fiercely proud of your accomplishments and the adults you've become. You will have a graduation story unlike any other class before you. You navigated your final months of school and now graduation during a time of a global pandemic. These have been challenging times, and things are not normal as we know them to be. Yet through this, as with all dark, challenging, and difficult times, lie opportunities waiting to be discovered. There have been opportunities to teach and learn differently, to connect with others in new and unique ways to explore, and new friends and new connections to make. During these last few months, there have been occasions for perhaps quieter moments, time to read, time to write, slow down, time to reflect, ponder, and plan. These last couple of months have presented challenges to things that we cherish, time with our elderly friends or grandparents, time to participate on a sports team or in a musical performance. There's been an absence of summer concerts and summer activities that we especially look forward to during these months. Shopping and dining out have become something very different than what we're used to. But there have been opportunities presented as well that we've capitalized on to grow and flourish and perhaps get to know ourselves better. We're not through these times yet, and we have progress yet to make on a national level. But within ourselves lie these quiet moments. And I encourage that you seek and you capitalize on these and the opportunities that they present, because they will rarely, if ever, present themselves like they do right now. Carpe diem. Seize the day. Seize the moments where you can challenge yourselves in ways you never have before. These are incredible times to try new things, learn new skills, learn new languages. Your families and the schools have collectively worked with you to support and prepare you for this time, and you're ready. You're ready for that next phase. You have an incredible foundation from which to build, and the fun comes now as you stretch yourself and challenge yourself to take cautious risks when you recognize an opportunity. As you leave us today, we wish you the very best. We wish you so much happiness, and we wish you many presented opportunities for you to seize and continue to grow on your life journey. Congratulations to each of you. Thank you.
Thank you, Superintendent Clenchey. Next, I will welcome to the podium your class valedictorian, Walter Stadonic.
Good morning, parents, faculty, and fellow students. None of us knew when we got those 2020 email accounts we were destined to graduate in the apocalypse. But when you're 1 week into the new year and World War III is trending, you know you're off to a fantastic start. It feels like the only predictable thing about this year is how comically bizarre the headlines are. Some favorites of mine include Poland accidentally invades Czech Republic, and Batman arrives to save the day at protest. And in true 2020 fashion, mine calendar was wrong. The world ends next week. But of course, the coronavirus has been at the heart of this year's chaos. Quarantine was fun for a week maybe, but our lives have begun to feel a little less like Ferris Bueller and a lot more like an extended cut of Groundhog Day. Most everyone here has suffered from COVID-19 in one way or another, whether from canceled seasons, missed opportunities to see friends, or loved ones getting sick. But there's good reason for hope. More than 165 vaccines are currently in development around the world, with some 27 in human trials. As the pandemic drags on, the coordinated heroics of ordinary people continue to keep our essential workers supplied with protective equipment. And in Massachusetts, social distancing, mask wearing, and testing have seen incredible success, with the rate of new cases plummeting from nearly 4,000 to a mere 200 per day. What all of this proves is something that we at Nashoba have always known, that teamwork is the foundation of success. In the past 4 years, we have achieved more together than any of us could have imagined. Our robotics team made it to the World Championships, the Nashoba Band and Chorus performed at Disney, and DECA has accomplished phenomenal things. And whether you are on the fields, cheering in the stands, or playing in the pep band, we all have reason to celebrate Nashoba's athletic prowess, including the 2018 Super Bowl victory. Each one of these achievements was made possible through teamwork, dedication, and the collective support of the Nashoba community. So as we persevere through this difficult time, remember that we are no strangers to conquering adversity. In the words of psychologist and Holocaust survivor Viktor Frankl, everything can be taken from a man but one thing, the freedom to choose one's attitude in any given set of circumstances. We may resent wearing masks and looking like a bunch of wallflowers at a middle school dance, but no matter how long quarantine drags on, we can't lose sight of the light at the end of the tunnel. This too shall pass, and if we can weather the pandemic of a century, surely nothing can stand between us and our dreams. As each of you prepares to take the next big step towards your future endeavors, keep your goals in your sights and remember how far we've come. Don't let anyone try to change who you are, because each one of you is brilliantly talented and ready to take on the world. And when life gets complicated, don't forget to stop and smell the roses. Unless you can't smell anything, in which case, probably get tested. Although this may be hasta luego, none of us will forget these past 4 years. It's been quite the adventure since we stumbled into the building as freshmen. Along the way, we've crammed esoteric formulas, broken an absurd quantity of labware, and slogged through textbooks better suited as doorstops. We've survived classes like chemistry and APUSH, endured dad jokes in bio, and refrained from burning great expectations. And whether you're a dashing Nashoba news anchor, a gallant EMT, a devoted mathlete, or a best buddies hero, you've all helped to make these past 4 years a time worth remembering. No matter where each of you goes in the coming months, don't forget, as a wise man once said, to keep on being two cookie kids. If each one of us stays true to the qualities which help to make Nashoba special, I know the world will turn out a better place. Of course, none of our achievements could have been possible without the endless support of our families, teachers, guidance counselors, coaches, directors, and school administration. I thank each of you for all you've done to help us come this far and achieve so much. In particular, I'd like to thank the parents for organizing the car parade and helping us to celebrate this special time amidst the chaos of quarantine. We finally made it, and boy, do we have one heck of a story to tell. Thank you.
Thank you, Walter. Each year, a committee of faculty members chooses our Chieftain Speech from a large group of student applicants. This year, Mackenzie Robichaud was chosen to read her Chieftain Speech. I would like to now invite Mackenzie to the podium.
Good morning, parents, students, teachers, and of course, all of my fellow classmates. As we think back on our high school careers, I'm sure we can all reflect upon a significant moment or experience that has changed us forever. Whether it was a specific call an EMT had that made them realize they wanted to pursue a career in medicine, or a specific teacher that inspired someone to want to grow up and be one themselves, we've all had those moments. For me, this moment came during my junior year and has allowed me to grow as a person and has also laid down the foundation for who I hope to become in the future. During my 4 years at Nashoba, I was involved in the amazing opportunities that are offered to bring us together with the PACE and transition students. I participated in Best Buddies, Unified Track, and Unified classes. It was during these activities that I got to make life-changing friendships with the most wonderful kids, while also getting to see firsthand all the amazing gifts they have to offer the world. However, after a particularly eye-opening experience with a stranger, I realized that not everyone shared my desire to encourage and love these students for who they are. During one nice day in the spring of my junior year, we decided to go outside during Unified Gym class. As we approached the track, 2 of the PACE students began touching a bike that was leaning up against the fence. Immediately, a man who was not a member of the Nashoba community began furiously walking towards us. The teachers began to apologize and to explain that the students did not fully understand that what they were doing was wrong. To which the man responded, "The one thing I can't stand in this world is people with disabilities." Due to the fact that I had been taught by the Nashoba community to spread kindness and be understanding of others, I was not aware or accustomed to the harsh discrimination that people with disabilities received. I simply could not comprehend how anybody in this world could think so negatively about those kids. In just a few short weeks, we are all about to embark on new adventures at new schools with new people. It is inevitable that during these next 4 years, and for the remainder of our lives, we are going to encounter people similar to the man I encountered that day. People whose beliefs and morals are so different from ours, we can't even begin to comprehend their thought process. However, as human beings, it is not our job to point out the flaws in other people. It is instead our responsibility to continue to live our lives with integrity, just as the Nashoba community has taught us. Although I felt helpless that day to change that man's perspective, I recognize that there are a million small choices I can make every day to continue to support those individuals. As I head off to college and embark on my new career path, I know I will always be an advocate for the marginalized people in our society. I will always use my knowledge to spread kindness, and I will always attempt to broaden my sense of understanding of others. It is my hope for all of my fellow classmates that they too will continue to live lives founded with integrity. I truly believe that I am graduating amongst some of the most creative and intelligent people there are, and if we all continue to stand up for what we believe in, we will all be fully capable of changing the world someday. Thank you, and congrats, everybody.
The senior class traditionally presents a gift to the school on behalf of the entire class. At this time, I would like to invite Dan DeMeo, class president, the class of 2020, to the podium to present their gift to the school.
Parents, teachers, graduates, Mr. Cullinane, Superintendent Clenchy, Dr. McGuire, members of the NRSD School Committee, Ms. Rich, faculty and staff, and my fellow friends. After 4 months, 12 days, 19 hours, and 10 minutes, the Nashoba Regional High School class of 2020 is together once again. I cannot tell you how happy I am and how grateful we are to be celebrating this milestone together. I know many schools across our nation did not give their seniors a live graduation ceremony, so I want to thank those who made today possible, and I express gratitude and humility on behalf of our entire class. It is my honor to have the opportunity to say a few words on a day where one of life's greatest milestones is reached and celebrated. I know one of the most painful things to do is to sit through a graduation speech in the hot sun, so I am going to make the end come as close to the beginning as possible. I am devoting my speech here today to say my thank yous, to present our class gift, and to offer brief words to my fellow classmates as we come to the end of this chapter and embark on our journey into the next chapter. On behalf of our class, I would like to take this time to thank the various parties and individuals who helped us achieve this great milestone. To our parents, for being the most supportive, loving, caring individuals, for always being there when life gets hard, and for constantly putting up with all of our crap. We thank you. To the members of the graduation committee, especially Mr. Tucker, Ms. Wozniak, and Ms. Rich, for the countless hours you sacrificed planning this event, for your compassion and desire to deliver the best possible celebration within the guidelines, for making this happen and for allowing us to celebrate together in person, and for the unconditional love and support you showed our class. We thank you. To the faculty and staff, for your commitment and service to public education, for always putting us first, and for always being there to support each and every student, we thank you. To the teachers, especially for me personally, Mrs. Clark, Mr. Sack, Mrs. Bailey, Mr. Kastner, Griff, and Mrs. Dumais, for being the best teachers this country will ever see, for having the backs of each and every student, for supporting your students through thick and thin, for molding and guiding your students to become the individuals they are destined to become, for not only being our teachers, but for being our friends and biggest role models. We thank you. To the administration, especially Mr. Cullinane, for your leadership during these unprecedented times, for navigating our community through, shall I say, a different year, for trying to find the light through the clouds of this stormy school year, and for all you have done and continue to do within our community, we thank you. To my fellow class officers, for being the best officers to ever serve the Nashoba community, for the countless hours you sacrificed for our class, and for all the work you have done, we thank you. To our class advisors, Mrs. Glenister and Mr. Emerson, for your constant support, guidance, and friendship throughout the last 4 years, we thank you. To Mr. Hunter, Miss Muty, Miss Yates, Gabby Brummer, Nathan Haberly, and especially to Jake Eastman, for your service in our executive board, and for all you have done for the good of our class, we thank you. And to all those at Nashoba, for sharing this incredible journey with us, and for giving us a school we can be proud of, we thank you. On behalf of the class of 2020 and my fellow class officers, I have the honor of presenting our class gift. We have accepted the challenge put forth by the class of 2019 to leave an allotted amount of money to the class of 2021 for the Change the World Scholarship, a scholarship honored and dedicated to former NRHS teacher Jackie Carter. Ms. Carter was one of the finest and most devoted teachers Nashoba has ever had, and we could not be more proud to leave $2,000 for the Change the World Scholarship. Is Mrs. Carter here today? Where's Mrs. Carter? Mrs. Carter, please stand up and let's give her a round of applause. We now challenge the class of 2021 to pay our gift forward to the class of 2022 in the hope that this scholarship will live on for Nashoba seniors in the years to come. We are also donating $3,000 to our custodial staff for them to use on new equipment, machinery, or anything else they may desire to continue their honorable work. Our custodial staff are the glue that holds our school together, and there are no words to express how grateful we are for all that they do for our community. And now for the last part of my speech. I was thinking about what I wanted to say this morning, and after going back and forth with myself, I think I found just the thing that holds true to the current times we live in. I think one thing this pandemic has taught us is to hold on to the memories you want to remember. When facing adversity, at times when it feels as if you may be alone, when times get hard and cold, having warm memories to wrap yourselves in will make all the difference in the world. For me, it will be the memories I shared with you all these past 4 years. The little memories, like hiking in the woods out back in freshman science with Katie Cohen and Grace Sullivan, sitting next to Brendan Castle in freshman Spanish, absolutely terrified, waiting for Senor Nicole to call us up to the board. Playing with bubbles and dry ice in sophomore biology with Molly Giroux, Luke Piot, Jackie Smith, and Gillian Bolton. Running the mile with Maggie Oberlees in freshman gym, with her standing by my side as I'm about to pass out. Nearly falling to the floor in laughter with Chris Yap after Mr. McCarthy brings in Mr. Dentino to help us practice. Sitting in American Lit with Haley McNeil, Emma Young, and Valentina, talking about everything except what we were supposed to be talking about. Pretending to know what I was doing in chemistry, only to ask Walter later that afternoon. Going to Disney last year and being dragged on the Figment ride, Nolan, wherever you are, and wearing sparkly pink Mickey ears, to which I still regret. Failing to dance successfully at prom, and Caroline Bennell can attest to that. Getting a call from Quinn Gross at almost midnight to let me know how great his workout went. Sitting next to Quinn in math as he constantly tells me how many pounds he can bench. walking up the stairs from math to psych as Quinn tells me how big his upper body is getting. And sitting next to Quinn in psych as he gloats about how big and masculine he is and how I am a short and feeble man. Right, Quinn? At the time, I rolled my eyes and told him to just shut up and do his work. But now I will take those moments and cherish them forever. Quinn, I'm going to admit to you in front of everyone that you were the reason I got a B in math instead of an A. But I will also admit that I couldn't have done the last 4 years without you, buddy. Seniors, when we leave here today, we will begin the next chapter of our lives. We will become citizens of our world. We will accept the responsibility of making the world our own. I ask that when we leave here today, we set out determined to live for a cause greater than our own, a cause that will positively impact the next generation of Americans and global citizens, a cause in which we can unify our country and our world to the promotion of partnership, prosperity, and peace. When high school seniors 50 years from now read about the class of 2020 in their history book, let them read that the class of 2020 set out on a national crusade to change our world for the better. You know, one thing I don't like about many adults, and no offense to the adults out here today, is that many say it's impractical to change the world, that the way it is now is the way it always will be. But many haven't tried. Let's try. Let's at least try to make our world one step closer to equal prosperity, equal opportunity, and equal justice for all. It is our responsibility to provide our children and their children a community they can be proud of, one that unifies every race, creed, and nationality to comprise one beautiful melting pot. It is our time, my friends, the time to march towards our future, the time to make something for ourselves, our community, and our world. Even if it's in the smallest way possible, let us be more than an asterisk in the books of history. Let us keep our eyes fixed on that destined horizon, determined to make our tomorrows better than our todays. It has been my absolute pleasure to work with you all these past 4 years, and I am so excited to see what the future will bring. Each of you carries the potential to do great things, and I know the places you go and the people you touch will be better because of you. It was my honor to serve as your president, but I want you to know there is no title I hold more proudly than that of a member of the class of 2020. And just like that, we did it, seniors. This is our time to celebrate, our time to be proud. We did this together, and together, let's go out and show this world just who's boss. Thank you all very much.
Thank you, Dan. That was great. In just a moment, we will award diplomas. It is what we've all come here to witness, your child walking across the stage with a diploma in hand. It is a joyous occasion, but one that calls for proper respect and decorum. So on behalf of the graduates, I ask you to hold your applause until all names have been read, so each name can be heard by their families and friends, and the graduates can receive their diploma in a setting truly befitting the significance of this event. Presenting the diplomas today are Superintendent Brooke Clenchy and School Committee Chairperson Kathy Codian. We just need the front row to stand up first. Sam will set you guys up afterwards. There's no way you're going to be able to stand that long, trust me. Walter Andrew Stadolnik. Mackenzie Taylor Robichaud. Daniel Enrico DeMeo. Christopher William Yap. Maggie Ryan Oberlies. Emma Rose Gould. Andrew David Alquist. Brandon Robert Alzapidi. Carlton Kobe Anderson. Madeline Grace Arsenal. Anna Victoria Austin. Kayla Alexandria Ballas. Remington Daly Barney. James Lucas Baxley. Second row. Dylan Andrew Arsenal. Good. Kelsey Patricia Reynolds. Daniel Alexis Aco. Mark Aaron Bedoin. Sorry about that. Bedoin. Matthew Christopher Bachara. Jillian Rose Bolton. Jack Henry Bonazzoli. Dominic Anthony Bosco. Haley Nicole Braccio. Julia Nicole Bucheri. Micaiah Dante Buckner. Caroline Mary Brunel. John Colin Burke. Olivia Grace Bush. Sophie Ruth Bush. Alexandra Margaret Bayuk. Jack Henry Cahill. Carly Lynn Campana. Elise Jane Carlin. Robert Gordon Carter. Bruno Casina. Brendan James Castle. Kaylin Quinn Castles. Kyle Bailey Chaput. Paige Haley Christie. Cole Michael Claricuzio. Marissa Elizabeth Cloutier. Catherine Elizabeth Cohen. Jordan Ray Condon. It's not that. Joseph Sven Conley. Trinity Olivia Cortez. Joshua Brandon Estorado Crabtree Kearney. It's a mouthful. Olivia Marie Crocker. Holly Lorette Cudmore. Nicholas George Cudmore. Harry Addison Cummings. Matthew Paul Cuniff. Ava Gabriel Dion. Josie Elizabeth Day. Xavier Michael DeFeo. We didn't get to rehearse, sorry. Jack Raymond DeVoe. Pamela Marie Diaz. McKenna Grace Lytell. Victoria Rose Dolan. Jake Al Wahib Eastman. Carly Rose Edelman. Jillian Hayes Fay. Aria Anuhaya Fernandez. Did I butcher that one? Sorry. Grace Elizabeth Fiore. Joseph Patrick Flannery. Charles Wilkes Flinkstrom. Anastasia Catherine Fournier Wasink. Julian Holly Frash. Natalie Clara Frey. Michael John Gannon. Molly Fitzpatrick Jarrow. Caitlin Rose Gilliam. Brandon Christopher Gillis. Jacob Robert Goad. Alex Michael Gonsalves. Quinn Daniel Gross. Ain Marie Dowling Geyer. Lucas Carter Holbrooks. Chloe Michelle Hall. Liam Law Hall. Kenzie Karen Hamaraski. Ooh, I got it out. Jonathan William Harnett. Gordon Robert Hatcher. Colleen Marie Henderson. Michael James Henderson. Samantha Alita Henry. Chad Daniel Hinckley. Rachel Lee Hoff. Milin Jingni Horn. Kelsey Margaret Houle. Devin James Hubbard. Catherine Marie Ikes. Emma Catherine Jardin. Mariana Herrera Jimenez. Mason Brian Jones. Eli Dion Joseph. Benjamin Philip Kalber. Catherine Mary Kane. Emily May Keaveney. Noah Tony Quiroz. Thomas Weber Keogh. Aiden Michael Kerr. Eliana Elizabeth Kahn. Abigail Rose Kosterich. Ryan Michael Kolakowski. Michael Joseph Kozlowski. Richard Lee LaCouture. Alexandra Aphrodite Constantinides. Sorry about that. Constantinides. Jessica Elaine Constantinides. Was close to that time. Alexander Leland LaFrance. Kenneth Matthew Lally. Nolan David LaPosta. Minwee Lee. Jacqueline Ann LeBlanc. Michaela Daniel LeClaire. Amanda Teresa Lapointe. Grace Ann Lapointe. Sabrina Alice Lapointe. Aiden Patrick Lee. Lee Marie Leonard. Leah.
It's Leah.
Thank you. I should have known that. Michael Joseph Lavoy. Philip John Lund. Macy Nicole McCaskill. Alec DeCesar McDonald. Jonathan Luis McKillop. Christopher James McLeod. Haley Grace McNeil. William Rudolph Mayer. Ryan Anthony Mackey. Anna Maria Patsy Masucci. I'm so sorry. Delaney Lorraine Meehan. Gavin Thomas Meehan. Nicholas Scott Mate. Maddie. Ian Robert McGregor. Alexander William McKinney. Kaylee Lauren McMahon. Abigail Joy McNulty. Jonathan Dawson Milne. Alicia Mary Miliotto. Rebecca Jeanette Miliotto. Maximus William Moulton. Sasha Ray Munson. Benjamin David Myers. Anastasia Elizabeth Nash. Olivia Ellen Nastasi. Rebecca Najin Newman. Isabella Kim Wing. Celia Rose Siftar Nicholson. Emma Rose Nikidis. Rosemary Venice O'Riordan. Beatrice Ann Ogden. Jetta Lynn Oskurko. James Paul Padovano. Padovano. Thank you. Sun's starting to get to me up here. Sorry, folks. Wellesley James Palomero. Aiden Anthony Palmaccio. Reed William Parsons. Nicholas Andrew Payson. Samantha Reese Peralt. Himlapat Fetsang. Luke Edward Piot. Gage Michael Poulin. Max Stephen Quinn. Patrick David Quinn. Amelia Beatrice Reed. Dylan John Riley. Edward William Riley. Alexis Virginia Richard. Benjamin Stephen Roberts. Samuel Alexander Roberts. Caroline McKenna Roberts. Nicholas Joseph Ramasco. Grace Catherine Romeo. Serena Marissa Russo. Nina Claire Sarafin. Sadie Helene Sargent. Mitchell Edwin Scanlon. Miko Andres Schivioni. Oh my goodness. Butchered. Bailey Nicole Shearing. Caleb Ryan Simonoa. Jacqueline Rose Smith. Charlotte Opal Snoonian. Elsie Brooke Snoonian. Isabel Marie Sonia. Erica B. Spallone. Amy Carolyn Spratt. Nolan Patrick Stalker. Grace Ann Sullivan. Christian Scott Super. Angelina Bell Tata. Lauren Grace Tier. Matthew Christopher Tobin. Kerry McLean Tremblay. Samuel James Vanas. Ethan Carlos Vainbecks. Caitlin Eunice White. Lindsay Ann Wilbur. Matthew Kyle Williams. Ethan Max Weiner. Thank you. Elsie Lorraine Barnett Yang. Emerson Rose Young. Will all of our graduates please rise? You have all worked very hard over the past 13 years, and today is a day to celebrate your accomplishments. At this time, I ask that all graduates move your tassel to the left. Congratulations to all of you. Please join me in congratulating the senior class of 2020. I don't know if they're going to. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for joining us today. I hope everybody hydrates when they get home and stay safe.